Welcome to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. It's week 6 of the Elite League season and the Challenge Cup takes centre stage. We've got plenty of big wins and a couple of surprise results as well. Here's what we've got coming up this week. Get your stovies early, folks. The Steelers are in Kirkcaldy to take on the Five Flyers. The Nottingham Panthers head off to the Skydome Arena and meet Matt Bolesky. And we see how the other NHLers are doing around the Elite League in their first full weekend here in the league. Well, a very good evening to you folks. As you'll see, I'm joined by Sylvain Cloutier, head coach of the Hull Stringrays. 4th year in the job, but many of you, of course, will still remember Cloots from his time with the Coventry Blaze. Right, plenty of action and plenty of stuff for Cloots and I to discuss tonight, but let's head over to Glasgow for Game 1. While you were watching the show last week, the Braehead clan had finally moved back into their own house and they were taking on the Dundee Stars. Game 1 of the weekend, Chris Ellis.
Braehead hadn't been at home for so long, they called this the homecoming. First period action and Doug Krantz pulls down Galbraith. The fan in front of us, our old friend, he pleads for a penalty shot. And Neil Wilson gives the penalty shot. Galbraith one-on-one with the netminder. I think you know the answer. Backhand, shelf, it's a goal. And Galbraith scores at 16:27 for 1-0 Braehead. It was a very even first period in terms of shots on goal. 10 each actually. And the first goal didn't come until the 17th minute. Well, goal number 2 came immediately. McPherson for his 2nd of the year, right in on net. Hansen and Haywood providing the assist. And less than 40 seconds later, it's 2-0. And then, just 30 seconds after that, right-hand side, Zajac with a lovely goal from the right circle. It's 3-0. The game has transformed in 90 seconds, basically. What a turnaround. 0-0 game and suddenly 3-0. But Dundee came back before the end of the first period. AJ McLean with the final touch to that one in front of his dad, the Ottawa Senators coach Paul McLean. So a special guest for the Stars at the weekend. At this stage it was 3-1, end of the first period, to period 2, a sweeping move up the ice, and Galbraith finishes that one for his 2nd of the night. 1:49 into period 2, that is 4-1. So to the 3rd period, and the dump in towards net is made there by the Braehead clan, by Manu, and then it's worked well from the wall, and jumping into the slot there is Haywood, a 2nd of the year for him. So at 55-52, it is 5-1, and surely Dundee are out of sight. They did, though, get 1 goal to round the night off. It was Wirrell's pass. It was a breakaway finish there from Ryanen. He scores his 7th of the year. Final score, Braehead clan 5, Dundee Stars 2.
It's always good to get back home, isn't it? And the Braehead clan with a 5-2 victory then over the Dundee Stars. They started a little slow, didn't they, Braehead, Sylvain? And they've got back home now. They got Galbraith back in the lineup. Miller jumps in, and it seems like normal service has been resumed in Glasgow. Yeah,
I mean, it's tough to start. Anytime you start the season away from home, it's a lot harder to get points on the road in this league, especially the teams are so tight this season. And to finally see them get back home, they had success last year at home, and with Galbraith back in the lineup and Miller being there, I mean, and now they got the big crowds behind them. I mean, you know, it's a loud building, it's a tough building to go play in. You've seen Braehead a little more than I have this year. I've just seen them the once. It seems to me like they've got the offense. Scoring goals isn't going to be their problem. Maybe a couple of questions still about the back end. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's still early on, and as a coach you always review your team and you take a look where maybe your weaknesses will be, but Braehead, yeah, maybe at the back end they might be a little weak, but up front, I mean, they got some players, the Goldies and Kristanovic and Galbraith. I mean, they can put the puck in the net. McPherson and even the young Farmer coming in. I mean, he's a top British player now in our league, and he's going to do a great job for them. OK, more from Sylvain Cloutier in a short while. We'll stay in Scotland. Saturday, Kirkcaldy. It was rumbustious as the Sheffield Steelers went into town.
Fife have made a good start to the season. They're 2nd in the top flight, so it was a good test of their capabilities when high-flying Sheffield Steelers came to town. In the 2nd period, Saric has it behind the net for the visitors, works the wall, and then feeds it off for Shields, who takes it up from behind the net, and out in front for Tom Sestito. And the NHLer on his debut, 21 minutes and 38 seconds in, puts the Steelers into the lead. Now, Fife made an immediate response, and it was strong work once more, but this time from them behind the net. And when Haynes gets it, left-hand side, out in front for Hogg, his 5th of the year, we're level at 1-1. Fife grew stronger as the game went on, and really, they looked like the most likely side to score. Sarridge had a puck charged down, and you see, once more Hogg, and he scores, this time on the breakaway, a second of the night. So at 32-16, it's 2-1 to the Fife Flyers, and they've turned that one-goal deficit around into a one-goal lead. As the period came to a close, they were on the power play. It was a shot from Keller in the first instance, but then Haynes gets involved. He works hard on the right-hand side, and the puck's moved around nicely. With this extra man advantage, you also see Jeff Keister. And then, right at the right-hand side, close in on the net, Hogg scores his hat-trick, hits the referee Neil Wilson for good measure, didn't mean to, just bumped into him. So that was 3-1, and the Fife Flyers were thrilled. So Sheffield needed to get back into the game. They did. Jeff McGuee swept into that move in the slot. So it is a one-goal game, and we see the time at 49 minutes and 15 seconds. Can the Flyers hang on? What can they do? Final stages here of the game. We're just about to enter the final 2 minutes. Good work from Hogg and Haynes, and the puck comes loose, and it's McAlpine to score his first of the year, and the insurance goal. What a win for the Flyers. Final score, 5-4, Sheffield 2.
A great result for the Fife Flyers. Was it that unexpected? Remember, this time last week they held Belfast very tight for so long, and then they go in and they beat out the Sheffield Steelers. It shows again, you don't go into those buildings prepared. Teams like Fife are going to turn you over.
Yeah, I mean, all the teams in our league, the Edinburghs, the Fife, you know, they come to play and they got good teams. I think Todd and Stewie have done a great job putting a really competitive team up in Fife, and it is going to be tough if you take them lightly. It's not last season's team, and as a big club, you can't go in there and take it lightly. You want to get points. Obviously, I was disappointed Sheffield didn't get the points because Fife is in our division, and you keep watching the scoreboard and you want to make sure that they don't run away from you.
You were disappointed. What have they done different this year? What is better about the Fife Flyers this year than last year?
Well, obviously last year was their first season in the league. It was new to them, new to Todd, and obviously had Stewie in there helping him out. And I think they're more prepared this year. They had all summer to recruit a team and get ready. And the young Scottish guys have come up. They're very good players. They got a year under their belt, the experience in our league now. So they're more prepared. So it adds depth to their team, and they're going to be more competitive.
And that building as well. Because when that building goes, it's such a passionate place to play. It's a great place to watch your hockey, as good as anywhere. But when it's behind you, it's got to give that team an advantage. Yeah,
it is a character building. It's an older arena, and the crowds, the people in that arena, the noise they make, it gets loud, and they get behind their team, and it gives you that extra boost.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about EIHL players, haven't we? But let's take a look at this lad, Hogg. Scores a hat-trick against the Sheffield Steelers. Played in the CIS, then played 1 year in the Central League in Missouri. But he knows how to finish, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got great hands. Obviously, he's a good skater. He works hard, and to play in that CIS, you got to be able to skate. It's a great league to play back home, University League in Canada. So, maybe he's going to be that player this year that surprises everyone.
You've got one in Tengler, haven't you, who came from the kind of nowhere. He scores a lot of goals. This lad's doing exactly the same thing right now, and he's just got to now carry the Flyers a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes guys don't score as much in the Central League, and they come over here on the bigger ice. They can skate. They see the ice well. They got more time to shoot the puck, and you can see he's got off to a great start, and he's a big key of their team right now.
Okay, confidence is a big thing, and Hogg has got it. The Fife Flyers have got it. You'll be able to see a lot more action when we come back after the break. Loads more goals in part 2, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. In part 1, I promised you a ton of goals in part 2. I keep my word. Here's Chris Ellis. He's up in Belfast seeing the Giants take on the Cardiff Devils.
A crowd of nearly 4,000 people are in the Odyssey Arena. Belfast had won 4 of the last 6 at home against the Devils, but the visitors went into the lead. Tyson Marsh jumping into the slot there, the assist to Hill and Blight, but he was left really to drift in there unopposed. 1-0 Cardiff then, 2 minutes and 22 seconds gone. But short-handed, the Belfast Giants came back into the game. Tyson Marsh is beaten defensively by Adam Keefe. So, what a move. and it is 1-1. Uses his stick just to reach away, goes short side on the netminder Phil Azur, 1-1. So sure-handed goal, and then power play goal. The special teams at work for the home side, has scrambled in front of the net, and Scott Champagne right there to touch the puck home. That's 2-1, and the game has spun around, and it's gone into Belfast advantage. Face-off win there for Rycroft, dumped towards net by Roberts, and it is redirected there by Rycroft. Cardiff think it's a high stick, it's not given, and it's 3-1. Belfast were in the ascendancy. The timeout was called by Cardiff, but it didn't work. Sweeping up the ice, the Giants, and Fournier with his 4th of the year. It is a 4-1 game, and it really is Belfast's advantage. Devon Didiamiti was in the right place to make it 4-2, just past the midway point of the game. He enjoyed that one. That's a 2-goal game, and then a tip from Phil Hill made it a 1-goal game, and that goal came 18 seconds after their second. So it certainly was a good period of play for the visitors. 1-goal game, but in the third period we see Clark, a lovely one-timer from the right circle, and to round it all off, Garside set up Adam Keefe for his second of the night across the netminder Azur. Nothing he could do about it. Still time for a penalty shot. I don't think Ben Davis will want to see this one in a hurry. He has a chance, he misses it, and then he falls over to the delight of the Odyssey. Final score, Belfast 6, Cardiff 3.
Another home victory then for the Belfast Giants. Now, folks, if you watch every week, you know we've taken a special interest in penalty shots, and we've seen some great ones. Oslins from Cloutier's team here, but Cloutier, I think we just have to see this one again. I know Ben Davis won't want to see it again, but we must really see it again. It happens to everybody, doesn't it? Let's see the slow-mo of it as well. Keep it nice and slow. Yeah, poor old Ben.
Yeah, I feel bad for Ben. I mean, it's one of those things, right? You try to make a move and you kind of toe pick, lose the puck, and you got to laugh about it. I mean, it's all good and fun, and I'm sure he's laughing right now.
I'm sure he is. Hey, and the other thing is, he's been a great find for the Cardiff Devils. He had that spell with them, didn't they? Then they shoveled him out to Basingstoke for half a year. He comes back. He came back a completely different player. Last year he was great. I think this year he's been one of the stars for the Cardiff Devils. So we have a little laugh and a joke there, but he's a big player for them.
No, he is a big player, and I think when he got sent down and went to and played in the EPL, I think that was great for him because he gave him a lot of ice time. He got his confidence, and he got to play a lot. So that's what the young guys need. They need a lot of ice time and get that chance and get that confidence. And now he's come back to Cardiff and he's done a great job for G, and he is one of their key guys. Talk
to me about the Belfast Giants. Are they your favourites? Are they the favourites for the title?
No, obviously Dougie's done a great job putting a team together. You know, the favourites, there's so many. I look at the Nottingham, Sheffield, and Belfast. It is even the team, I think there's a sleeper in that group is Coventry right now. Tom's done a great job with the offense he's put together there. So, yeah, Belfast, I think they are one of the favourites, but I know it's going to be a tight race, I think.
With the schedule being as tight as it is, Belfast this week don't play, of course. They're in Europe in the Continental Cup. Might that affect them, the schedule? Belfast always used to be a team that struggled after Christmas. Last year was a blip in that. They played very well after Christmas.
Yeah, I think last season, I think they had a great schedule. I mean, they didn't travel as much. They were, it was divided pretty well for them. And yeah, it might be tough. I mean, it's going to be a lot of games, and, you know, you got to knock on wood. Hopefully there's no injuries. But, you know, then again, when you come back, I think sometimes it's tough to come back when you have so many games to make up and you want to catch the team ahead of you. A lot of pressure, pressure starts building up if you're not winning those games, and it makes it tough.
Just a quick word on Cardiff. What did you make of them right now? We normally eulogise at this point of the show about Faulkner, but as a team, the Cardiff Devils?
Well, I mean, we've seen them once in Hull, and it was early on in the season. It was the first week, so you know, the way G puts a team together and the style they work extremely hard, and it's still early in the seasons, and you know, Cardiff's going to be there at the end. They always are. They always find a way to win hockey games, and they seem to start slow at times, and I'm sure G will get them going.
They were a team, of course, that went from a British goalie to an import goalie. You went the other way around. Your thoughts there on the Lyle O'Sare move and how it changes, if you like, the configuration of the whole Devil setup?
Yeah, it does change. I mean, obviously Stevie Lyle did a great job for them while he was there, and Phil coming back, he was there when I played in Coventry, and he was one of the better goalies in the league. So when I got to see G at the referees meeting where we were talking about the rules. He was really excited about having him, and from what I remember from him, he was one of the better goalies, and I'm like, wow, you know, Cardiff's going to be tough to beat with Phil. But sometimes when you switch leagues and you come back, there's a period of adjustment. Obviously the leagues are different, and I'm sure Phil will get his game back on, and he'll be that guy that G brought in.
Okay, let's take some more action on, you won't really want to see this, Cloutier, actually. Nottingham versus Hull on Saturday. Before that, though, while Cloutier makes his departure, we'll see the Braehead clan. They were taking on the Edinburgh Capitals.
After that long spell on the road, it was 2 home games in as many days for Braehead, and a great move up the ice. Manu and Farmer supplying the assists, and Jade Galbraith skating on to its 6th goal of the season. 5 minutes and 36 seconds gone. Braehead were ahead. And again, a sweet flowing move, this time involving player coach Jordan Kristanovic. He worked hard left-hand side, lovely centering feed for Galbraith, and under 3 minutes later, it's 2-0 Braehead, and they have the early advantage. Again, Braehead clan working hard in the neutral zone, and a great move once more up the ice, this in the second period, and this time Kristanovic sends Farmer left-hand side, and he sets up Galbraith for his hat-trick at 21:51. He's played half as many games as everyone else. He's already 3rd in the Elite League goal-scoring charts. Edinburgh got back into the game. Zemberg's there, the quick release from right side, so that made it 3-1. So once more, Braehead just stepped things up. Ryan Watts starting the move in the neutral zone and then finishing it off on the rebound there for his 3rd goal of the season. 27:52 gone, and suddenly Braehead go 4-1 ahead just after Edinburgh thought they were making a comeback. The clan kept going in the second period. They piled plenty of pressure on the Edinburgh net. They outshot the Caps 10-4. And McPherson with an attempt first of all, and it forced a Matt Hayward to net his 3rd goal of the season. And in the second period, the clan take a 5-1 lead. It got even better for them at the start of the 3rd on the power play, and a nice moment for NHLer Drew Miller. Hansen and Goldie setting him up, and Miller scoring there to the delight of the fans. So that made it 6-1, and the game was well and truly out of sight. But Edinburgh wanted to make a game of it, and Single and Dobrin come forward. Good skill actually from Dobrin in front of the net there to come away from his marker, and Hartman gets his 2nd of the year just to close the gap at 48:54. Edinburgh kept working once more. Yarrelin the provider on this one. They come from behind the net, out in front. Dobrin involved as well. It goes left-hand side, and a little bit of hesitation in the defence there from Kevin Phillips, and the shot comes in from Single, his 4th of the year. But that was the end of the scoring. Final score, Braehead 6, Edinburgh 3. The Stingrays started the game well and put some shots on Craig Kowalski's net, but Lever sent Stewart right-hand side, and the NHLer went into the offensive zone and slipped the puck inside to David Clark, who came away from his marker and went near side for 1-0 Nottingham and a first period lead at 12 minutes and 4 seconds. The Panthers then outshot the Stingrays 15-4 in period 2, and Guy Lepine started this move off in his own zone to Benedict, and then Lepine round the defenceman and made it 2-0. That was a power play goal at 25 minutes and 21 seconds, and Nottingham had a 2-0 advantage. Many things went their way, especially on the scoreboard in the second period, and they were moving it around. And this one's short-handed. Francis goes into the corner with Dooley, works hard, comes away from him and Silverthorne, and then pulls Bounds out of position. 3-0 Nottingham, 34-13, and that one short-handed. That was Nottingham's 3rd goal of the game and 2nd goal of the period. Things continued to get better for Nottingham in period 2, but not before the first of 2 bouts. Are you ready for number 1 between Ryan Hand and Guy Lepine? They square each other off. They spend a lot of time doing that, actually. And Lepine manages to throw one punch, and Ryan Hand hangs on, and that one is over really before it began. But there is round 2 to come, and that one is better. Anyway, Nottingham then at this stage were 3-0 ahead, and they were coming forward at ease. Gadavan with the first shot there, saved by Bounds. Trying to get to the rebound is Gadavan. Plenty of players driving towards the net, and then it's kept in the zone by Beckett, who cleverly plays it behind the net. Nottingham's rotation of the puck is good, and that's a good move in front of the net by David Ling, an 8th of the year for him. And at 38-14, Nottingham were ahead by 4-0. That wasn't even the end of the scoring in the second period. There was still time for Matthew Myers to win a face-off, and then the play to just be charged down. It wasn't cleared there by Smith, and then in front of the net there was Beckett, right alone in the slot, and Nottingham had a 5-0 lead with 1 minute and 14 seconds to go in period 2. So to the third, and Ling left-hand side, and a wraparound with his backhand there for Bruce Graham. Graham scoring 1 minute and 1 second into the third period, and Nottingham had got goal number 6. I said there was to be bout 2, and here they go. They square off once more. Plenty of time to size each other up. Is this one going to be better? Well, yeah, some rights there from Hamd, some rights from Lapine, and some jabs really into the body there from Lapine. A bit more holding on from Hamd and Lapine too, and gets the takedown, but it was a win probably in terms of punches for Guy Lapine. Final score, Nottingham 6, Hull 0.
You okay, Cloutier? Recovered from that? It can happen, can't it, in that building? When they come, and if they get the first couple on you, sometimes it can be a wave. Yeah,
they just come at you. They got 3 lines. They're so deep, and even have guys sitting out right now. So I can imagine when they got a full lineup. Yeah, they just kept coming at us. The first period, I thought we had a really good period. We had a few scoring chances. Maybe we could have been up. Maybe if we would have bared down. But once they get a goal and they get going, their confidence just goes through the roof in that building, and they just keep coming.
When you go into an Odyssey, an NIC, a Motor Point Arena, when you go into those big buildings, is that first 10 minutes, that first period key, that you kind of don't lose the game there and then? And if you can get that first goal, build off that, if you like.
Yeah, it's tough going in there. The crowd's loud. They got a big crowd. You know, their team, like I said, they got a lot of depth. And if you can get out of that first 10 minutes, you're like, all right, we're going to be okay. But once they get that first goal, and in the second period, they got 2 or 3 in a row there in a short span, and they just kept coming at us. And we tried to battle back, and then you start to try to cheat and create chances and trying to get back in the game, and once you do that, they just keep coming. What
do you make of Nottingham this year? You've seen Nottingham, Belfast, you've seen Sheffield, Coventry, Cardiff. What do you make of the Panthers compared to those other teams?
I think Nottingham, the depth they have in their lineup, and like I said earlier, still right now, there's still guys sitting out with Weaver out, Nielsen out.
I think Fox is out now as well, isn't he?
Fox is not playing. He's probably one of the better players in the league. So I think it's probably the best Nottingham team I've seen since I've been in the Elite League. And
they've had some pretty good teams, haven't they?
Oh, every year they've you know, they got one of the best teams. And I think if they stay healthy and they're consistent this season, they might have a chance at that league title. Before
we saw your game, of course, we saw the Braehead clan taking on the Edinburgh Capitals. A comfortable win for Braehead there at home.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Braehead's going to be tough at home. You know, with the addition of Miller and obviously Galbraith loves playing in Braehead. I mean, he scores two goals a night there, so yeah, he's having a lot of fun there. No, Braehead's a good team. They're a team to watch too, even though they're in our conference. I'm sure they're going to be up there at the end of the season.
Edinburgh got the goalie back after that incident he had with you in Hull. He served his 5-game suspension. He's probably as key a player in the league for a club, isn't he? He has to play well every night to give his team a chance.
Yeah, when he came down to Hull, he was playing great for them, and obviously he got frustrated there, and it happens, it's part of the game, but Edinburgh needs him to be on his A game for them to have a chance to win hockey games against anybody in the league. It comes down to us too. We need Bouncy to be sharp for us to win games too. So yeah, the goaltending position is extremely important.
It is indeed. Right, more from Sylvain Cloutier when we come back after the break. Plenty more goals and one of the sexiest penalty shots you'll ever see in your life. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Let's head over to the Sky Dome Arena in Coventry, where it was a battle of the NHLers. The first time 2 NHLers had gone head-to-head. Bolesky of the Coventry Blaze making his home debut against Stewart of the Nottingham Panthers. Folks, don't tell me NHLers don't sell tickets. This was the second biggest crowd ever at the Sky Dome Arena. We even managed to get Chris Ellis a ticket.
It was standing room only as Nottingham Panthers came into the Skydome Arena for a Challenge Cup game. First period action, they failed to clear their lines. First Kowalski, then Francis, then Beckett there as well. And that one from Greg Leib goes in off Stevie Lee and off the netminder Kowalski. So Coventry ahead, and we've been playing for 7 minutes and 40 seconds. It was a great game. It was end-to-end. It was feisty, full of chances. Here's the first fight of the night. You see it beginning to happen there. Camera pans to follow the action, then goes back, and it's Guy Lepine who has the takedown there on Mike Egner. Lepine got the better of the punches, so that's the first fight of the night. And then step forward, NHLer Matt Bileski. He became a fan's favourite immediately. Here he goes with Stevie Lee, gets the better of this one, rights and lefts. Stevie Lee not getting any punches away really, so the fans in the Skydome love that one. You'd give it a win for Nottingham with Lepine and then a win for Coventry with Bileski. So the score at that stage was 1-0 to Coventry. Nottingham needed to find ways to get back into the game. It was a very open game and they had chances. One end of the ice to the other here, chances for both sides. First of all, making room for himself was Bileski, and that shot was charged down. So Nottingham broke free at the other end. They moved at speed. Gallivan tries to go past the netminder. Can't do so. That's a good save there from Peter Hirsch. And then Francis towards the net, trying to get things going for Nottingham. He can't do so. Bruce Graham then, another chance. The shot there from Lepine, it's charged down. So Nottingham have their chances, and then Coventry come forward. Into the offensive zone comes Bayrak. He lays it off for Shoot. He shoots, but it's saved once more. So both netminders seeing plenty of rubber, but still 1-0 Coventry Blaze. We're in the second period though at this point in time. Nottingham moving the puck around, good possession, and then on his backhand, the other NHLer in the game, Anthony Stewart, his second for Nottingham. Lepine and Myers get the assist. Nottingham level then, 33 minutes and 41 seconds gone. Coventry came back in the third period. It's a scramble in front of the net, but Dustin Cameron does find a way through. Bileski getting an assist. So a goal, a fight, and assist on debut. What a game for him. So this stage is 2-1, and we're into the final stages. Nottingham pull their netminder, and a giveaway gives the puck to Brad Leib to wrap things up with 5 seconds to go. Coventry 3, Nottingham 1.
An important Challenge Cup win for the Coventry Blaze. Huge turnout there at the Skydome Arena. And you said earlier, they're sneaking under the radar a little bit, aren't they, the Coventry Blaze at the moment? Everybody's feeling sorry for Tomo, all these injuries, but actually he's keeping the wins going, he's getting his bodies back, and I think, import-wise, 1 to 10 or 1 to 11, they're as good, if not better, than any team in this league.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you look at the players he's signed this off-season, the Lee brothers and Cameron coming in, and now the NHL guy coming in, depending on how long the strike stays. These guys are stacked up front, and they got a lot of offense, and Tomo did a great job while they were injured, keeping getting points and keeping plugging away. So they keep going. They could be that sleeping team this year. And
you know as well as anybody, having played in the Skydome as long as you did, if you got a bit of toughness in that building, it makes all the difference. And in Egner and of course in Olsen, they've got 2 rock-solid tough guys there.
Yeah, they do, and those guys play hard, and you got to keep your head up once you hit the ice against them, and the crowd in Coventry will get behind them too, because that's what they want, that's what they like. The years I played there, if you played hard for them, played physical, they got behind you, and that's what the Coventry people want.
We'll see a Bileski fight in a minute. Let's first of all turn our attention to Lepine as he took on Mike Egner, and this seemed to be going on a little bit off the play to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 big boys going at it, and anytime 2 big guys get together, and Lepine's one of the tougher players in the league, and for the Coventry player to step up, he did a great job to get in there.
Was there anything wrong with that hit from Bileski? Stevie Lee thought so.
No, I didn't think there's anything wrong. I mean, he plays the game hard. He finished his check, and you know, if you're not allowed to play physical, what's the reason to play this game? That's what you play it for, is to play it hard and play physical. And obviously Stevie didn't feel that it was a fair hit, but from what I see, I think it was a clean hit, and Stevie felt otherwise and went in and challenged him.
It's a long season, isn't it? And with this conference system, there's ample games left for the Coventry Blaze to challenge right at the top end of that hard conference, isn't there?
Yeah, there's lots of games left. It's still early. I think it's 6 weeks in the season, and if you get consistent, you take points every weekend. At the end of the season, it builds up and it adds up, and yeah, I think Coventry is my sleeping team.
Ron Schuder and I this time last week were getting very excited about the NHLers coming in. As we go on air now, the NHLers might be off tomorrow. next week, it could be whenever. Anthony Stewart got a nice goal there. He's been a good signing for the Nottingham Panthers. We'll see his goal coming up here. How do you see that whole NHL situation working out as we see Stewart's goal?
Well, I think obviously back home everyone wants to see the NHL get back. I want to see it get back. Saturday nights I love watching Hockey Night in Canada, and I was pretty disappointed they went through the lockout. I mean, it was really growing. It was getting big in the States back home. And yeah, Stewart's a great pickup for Nottingham. He's a big body, he's a power forward, and he goes to the front of the net there and he does his job. He gets the rebound and he puts it in. That's the type of player he is in the NHL, and that's what he's doing here for Nottingham, up and down, grinding and playing hard.
We told you that was a Challenge Cup game between the Coventry Blaze and the Nottingham Panthers. Let's take a chance here now to have a look at the standings in the Challenge Cup. We'll see the Group A, the Five Flyers, leading the way. I think we can safely say that Fife and Braehead have secured a place in the quarterfinals. In fact, Cleats, can we say that the top four there have pretty much secured a place in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I think those four are in for sure now. I think Edinburgh's got 2 games left in the Challenge Cup, so really would take a miracle and someone else to fumble there.
Let's take a look at Group B. Nottingham, they always do well in the Challenge Cup. Looking at your own situation there, 5 games, 3 points, just 3 games left. Have you got to take, you've got to take, what, at least another 3 points in those 3 remaining games?
Yeah, we do. We got to get at least 3 points. Obviously, we got a game at home left against Coventry, and we got 2 away games, one in Sheffield and the other one's against Cardiff. So if we can sneak a point somewhere and hopefully win our home match, then maybe we can sneak into the quarterfinals. People
don't realise the quarterfinals is important for, hey, I've made the quarterfinals, but B, it's another gate, and to all clubs the additional revenue is a reason alone to make it into the final.
Yeah, business side, it's you need that gate, and to get that extra gate would be big for the Hull Stingrays, and we're going to plug away, and hopefully we do steal points and we do sneak in. I mean, obviously not too many people are giving us a chance in the group we're in, but we got off to a quick start by winning at home against Cardiff and then stealing a point up in Coventry and getting to overtime with them. So if we can win our home match and maybe steal one from Cardiff or Sheffield, then we should be able to sneak in.
OK, let's see a little bit of Cloutier's team, the Hull Stingrays, because on Sunday they had the longest of bus trips up to Dundee.
This was the 3rd meeting between these two sides this season. The Stars already beating the Stingrays 3-2 at home and 3-1 on the road in Hull. And what a start the home side had, Mike Wirral hitting the left-hand post inside the opening seconds. But the Stingrays, they grew in confidence as the period went on. They may have been outshot 12-11, but they got the opening goal. Strong battling by Tanaka down the right-hand side. He fed Tendeler, who fired over Riopel for his 7th of the year, and the Stingrays were ahead 8 minutes and 39 seconds gone. So that was 1-0. Then there was a bit of a battle on the boards. It all went off. A hit by Bowen on Tanaka, but then a number of players got involved. Baxter, you see there, trying to get a bit of a wrestling match going. Silverthorne calming things down. Jeff Smith, he kind of steps up to the plate. Vallejo too. No big penalties thrown out. All ended up being a bit of push and shove, and all died down by referee Neil Wilson and his linesman. So at this stage, still 1-0 to the visitors. But how does that one go in? A leveller for Krantz. Well, you'll see on the replay. Look at the bounce in front of the netminder bounds. It goes off his pad and into the back of the net. So to penalties, because it was 1-1 in the game, and the first attempt there by Tanaka and a pad save there by Riopel. First to go for the Dundee Stars. He's been ever reliable this season for them. Sami Ryanen. Yes, Ryanen goes left-hand side, delays his shot. That's a clever penalty. We're 1-0 to the home side. So Ozelins has a chance now for the Hull Stingrays. Well, that's a lovely goal, a swivel, and scores. So 1-1, but Mike Wirral to take the second one for the Dundee Stars. He scores, so that is 2-1 to the home side. It means Jeremy Tendeler, who scored in the game, now has to score in the shootout to keep this alive. He doesn't pad save Riopel. He is thrilled, and so are the home crowd. Dundee 2, Hull Stingrays 1.
Did I tell you? It was a sexy penalty shot goal. I'm sorry, Ben, we had to show that one as well. Ozelins, We showed one a couple of weeks ago. He's outstanding on the shootout, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got great hands, he's got great moves. We watch him in practice, and when we practice our shootouts, the moves he pulls off are unbelievable. There's more to come from him in the shootout, that's for sure.
Okay, we've got to see it again. Let's see it again, folks. It was a great penalty shot by Oslins. Under pressure as well, wasn't he? And talk us through it.
Yeah, he had to score there, and then he makes the move, goes backwards, backhand, top shelf, and if you watch it right here, he fakes him, spins around, and backhand under the bar. I mean, you got to have good hands to make that play.
You have to do, don't you? After the game, though, you weren't a happy man. You've obviously made a change, and it's come out in the media since then. Velechko, who was in Edinburgh before, you've moved him on, but you've brought an old favourite back.
Yes, I mean, obviously we felt we needed to make a change. You know, we've lost a few games in a row. I know 4 of them were in a shootout, and but we can't afford to lose matches like this and fall behind in our group. We feel our group is good enough to compete for at least second or first in our group, and we know it's going to be tough, but we can't fall behind the 8 ball. And you know, Thomas was the guy we let go, and we brought in Martin Andreev. He's a stay-at-home D-man that competes every night. You know, he's the type of guy that comes to work, and that's what I wanted. I want to make our defense now a harder defense to play against, and more physical, and you're going to have to win battles to get to Bouncy. It
was a shame that we saw the mistake that Bouncy made there, because he's had a great start for you, hasn't he? And are you pleased with the progress that he's made?
Yeah, Bouncy's done a great job for us. Obviously, he's still young. There is going to be ups and downs. He's a young goalkeeper. No, I mean, obviously he might want that goal back, but Bouncy made a lot of saves during that game to keep us in and give us a chance to get that point. And if it wasn't for Bouncy this year, maybe we wouldn't have the 4 or 5 points we have. And I know I'm extremely happy with the job Bouncy's done for us.
Well, whilst Cloutier and the Hull Stringrays were in Dundee, just a few miles away, the Edinburgh Capitals were taking on the Five Flyers. Unfortunately, no footage, but here are the details from that game. And as you can see, is that a surprise result? Yarrelin again gets a hat-trick as the Caps beat the Flyers by 5-2. Almost 1,000 people in Murrayfield as well. Always a good place to go and watch, especially a Caps-Flyers game. That Yarrelin is a goal machine, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. He's a pure goal scorer. You know, he's proved it ever since he's come over. If you give him time and space, he will find the net. And he's doing a great job for Edinburgh. He's one of their key guys. If they're going to win games in our conference, he's got to win games for them and put the puck in the net against the team in our own division.
Okay, well, we've still got one more game to come for you in our next part. It'll see the Steelers taking on the Belfast Giants, so don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Time for our last game. Now, the Sheffield Steelers arrived back in Yorkshire with their tails between the legs after that defeat against the Five Flyers. So on Sunday, only the best would do, and only a victory against the Belfast Giants would be accepted.
Top of the table clash at the Motor Point Arena. A win for Belfast would see them move well clear at the top of the table. A win for the Steelers would see them go back to second. Now, this incident, which involved a slash from Goertzen to receive a minor penalty, plenty of players getting involved, and Tom Sestito on his home debut. Well, that's kind of a sign of things to come. More from him later. So, Belfast on the power play in the early stages in the Sheffield Arena. And there's plenty of action in front of the net. Sandrock does well to keep the puck in the zone, and via some deflections, Craig Peacock giving the visitors the lead at 3 minutes and 1 second. You'll see from this replay, puck comes from the side, and Peacock is the man credited with the final touch. It is 1-0 to the visitors. So power play then for the home side in the first period still. Jeff Legui heavily involved, and also Stevenson on the far side. They exchange passes. Legui makes some room in the right circle. The pad save is made, but there is Sestito. It's a first goal for the club. He's delighted, celebrates with the fans behind the goals. His teammates look thrilled. And watch from the replay, it's a good goal from him. He uses his reach to get it away from Murphy, and you'll see from behind the net that he has quite a lot of work to do. He's there, making his presence felt. He has to bring it away, not just from Murphy, but from the defenseman. It is 1-1. And the Steelers are back in the game. So to period 2, in fact, we're in the very early stages. And once again, Sestito is involved. There he is. He exchanges passes behind the net with Hewitt. He gets it again in the left circle. Save is made by Murphy. But there is Goertzen. to make it 2-1, 19 seconds gone. And this slow-mo replay is great. So Stitto just has a little bit of work to do to get the puck under control, but great use of the wrists. The shot towards net, and it's saved by Murphy, and there is Michael Hicks to get a perfect view of the Sheffield Steelers scoring their second goal. So 2-1 then to the Steelers in their own barn. Now, push and shove on the boards. Michel, you see there, Stewart, Le Gouy, Goertzen. They're all just talking at the moment, but the real action is about to come, and you can see him getting involved. There he is, the NHLer, Stitto, going with Gregory Stewart. The two of them pair off. Everyone else is just watching. You can see both benches leaning over to get a better view. Now, Goertzen gets the better of this early part of the fight. Almost want the players to move out of the way, so he uses his rights to good effect to start off. But then Stewart, after that left there from Goertzen, Stewart tries to get some lefts in. He stands up well to the task, to be fair to him, and gets some rights there, and some more rights. But then Stitto with some big lefts there over the top. Looked like Stewart was going to go down, but he didn't, although that was the end of the fight. And the Sheffield Steelers have a new hero. Stewart had to leave the ice for some treatment, so Stitto got the instigator, but as I said, a hero now in the Motorpoint Arena. As the game was coming to a close, a chance for Colbert on net. These are the final few moments with the netminder pulled, but the Steelers managed to clear, and they rise as one to celebrate the 2 points. But look at this on the slow-mo. Colbert shot, pads, body, head even, of John DeCaro. Danny Myers reaches in vain to try and get to the puck. He didn't do so, but then the Steelers did clear, and they hung on for a vital win. Sheffield 2, Belfast Giants 1.
Important victory on many levels for the Sheffield Steelers as they take 2 points off the Belfast Giants. And in league standing terms, Clout, it was important that somebody put the brakes on the Belfast Giants because they were in the middle of a good run.
Yeah, they were, and when you're competing for that league title, you don't want to fall too far behind because catching up becomes harder and harder during the season. The teams get better as the season go on, and for Sheffield, it's definitely a big win for them. Nothing
worse than those 3-point games as well, is there, for the coaches? They don't like to see the teams around them picking up those odd points.
No, you don't like to see that, and obviously it was a massive win for Finner and his team there. And it's nice. It's going to stay tighter, and that's why you want it. Makes it more exciting towards the end.
Tom Sestito, what a home debut. A goal, a fight, an assist, a Gaudio hat-trick. Let's take a look at them and go through them together. He got right up on the board. Nice power play goal, and I guess this is what he does at that size. He can stand in front and hack and whack.
Yeah, he's a big body, and you throw him in front on the power play, he'll screen the goalie. You know, obviously he's so big he can block out that defenseman and get the rebound and put it in the net.
This is the assist, the shot that Goertzen picks up on.
Yeah, it's a great shot, great pass, and throws it right at Murphy's pad, and it's a perfect rebound to. Right there, he's right there to tap it in, and it was a nice goal.
Yeah, had a nice scrap as well, didn't he? And those big guys, I mean, everybody was on the edge of their seats watching this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's two big players, that's Stewart and him going at it. There was a great fight, and obviously your home debut to get a goal and assist in a fight, what a way to start.
It is indeed. Good start then for Sestito, but how long will the Steelers be able to keep hold of him? How long the Panthers will be able to keep hold of Stewart or Brahead, and with Miller and then Bolesky in Coventry? Let's hope we get at least one more weekend out of them. OK, let's see the results then from last week. We'll start off in Kirkcaldy, where the Five Flyers beat the Sheffield Steelers by 4-2. Another Earthard Conference game saw the Belfast Giants take on the Cardiff Devils 6-3 to Belfast. Same score in Braehead as the Clan beat out the Capitals. And in the Challenge Cup Group B, which also doubled up as an Elite League game, Nottingham 6-0 over the Hull Stingrays. Moving forward 24 hours, the Sheffield Steelers 2-1 over the Belfast Giants, the Stars 2-1 over the Hull Stingrays, and the Coventry Blaze 3-1 over the Nottingham Panthers. Let's take a look at the league table and see how Cloutier and his boys are doing. At the top, of course, we see the Sheffield Steelers, the Belfast Giants, the Panthers, the Devils and the Blaze in the Earhart Conference. And then the Clan, they've sneaked up there, haven't they, Braehead? Dundee, Edinburgh, Hull and Fife in the Gardiner Conference. And if we throw all those points together, of course the Gardiner teams haven't played as many games yet as the Earhart team, so it hasn't quite equaled out yet. But as you said, you've lost 4 games in a shootout, and if you'd have won those 4 games, bang, you're right up there in 7th place.
Yeah, we'd be right up, and it's a frustrating part, but the shootout's part of the game, and you got to find a way to win hockey games, and shootouts are exciting, but sometimes frustrating for a coach.
Okay, so those are all the games from this week. Great games coming up, some fabulous games coming up next week. Let's take a look through the fixtures of the Elite League. We'll start off on Saturday, Coventry versus the Sheffield Steelers at the Sky Dome. A real big game for Cloutier as the Hull Stringrays take on the Dundee Stars. Dundee have got 3 of their 4 wins against Hull right now, so Stingrays looking for a win there. And a big Scottish derby. It's a Gardner Conference game and a Challenge Cup game between Braehead and the Five Flyers. A 7 o'clock face-off. On Sunday, the Big Blue Tent. The Devils take on the Nottingham Panthers. The Caps take on the Coventry Blaze. Dundee Stars take on the Five Flyers. And the Sheffield Steelers against the Hull Stingrays. And you'll be able to see all the goals from all of those games next week. Our highlight show 11:30 p.m. on Friday, and that's a nice repeat time as well, isn't it? Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, all on Sky Sports 4. Well, all that remains now is for me to say goodnight to Sylvain Cloutier. I'll see you on Sunday. You'll be about 4 foot from me if you're a naughty lad and take a penalty. Folks, the Elite League is great, isn't it? Don't just watch it on the telly. Go take in a game yourself.